Hello, everyone. It's Russ here, and I just want to send out a quick video here just to bring you up to speed on yesterday's events. And I normally just wait, do it in the same day or the day after, just let the kind of the dust settle on everything that's happened and that sort of thing. So I want to cover a few things, and I brought up this article here just to kind of give you some feedback and that sort of thing, and then just give you some thoughts and that on this. The Bank of Canada, if you haven't heard, has increased the prime rate up to 6.95%, so a quarter point yesterday. And this is the first time, I mean, they held back in January. Inflation, so why have they done this? Inflation has been unexpectedly resilient. Okay, so inflation has bumped up a little bit. The housing market is coming back. The rates popped down a little bit. So there's a lot of activity, wage growth, the GDP, all these things. They're trying to cool the economy and that sort of thing. Now, one thing to note is that I was listening to a speaker the other day, and they had mentioned that really we're at inflation is about 4.3, 4.4, 4.3 to 4.4 right now, but these higher mortgage rates account for about 0.8 to 1% of that. So theoretically, inflation is in the threes, is in the mid to low threes, in that range. So that's one thing to kind of take note of it, and that sort of thing. So that's why it has gone up, is that inflation is being unexpectedly, resilient. We were actually, all of us, well, many economists, including, I'm not an economist, but including myself, we thought that we were just going to sit tight and there'd be no increases at this point in time, just because it normally takes 12 to 18 months for these rate increases to have full effect. And that, so, but it did come to a bit of a surprise. Now, is there going to be another rate increase? It all depends what is happening in the market in the next little while. When I say little while, the next quarter, the next few months and stuff like that. But the next meeting, Bank of Canada meeting date, is in about 5 weeks, so in July. One thing to look at here too, I found this interesting in this article, is this is the history of the prime rate. Okay, these are high inflationary times and that sort of thing. So they use it to cool the market. They really want everyone to put their excuse me, they want everyone to put their wallets back in their pockets for a bit here. So this has been quite a drastic increase. Now you can see here is that this can come down. It's projected to come down almost as quickly as it has come up. And I'm not going to say as quickly. It could be a pause to that, but it will eventually come back down. And the consensus is that we should start seeing the prime rate come back down in January to February, in that range. Now, with that being said, it is expected that it will come down over the next, at that point in time, by next year, come down potentially 1.5 to 2%. Now, this is to be determined because, of course, it all depends on what happens with the numbers and with inflation and so forth. Okay. So could there be another rate increase? It could be, but it is going to get better at some point. We have all been affected, including myself, with these variable rates and stuff. And I want to let you know, like, there is an option that you can lock into a fixed term. The challenge that we have right now is that now that, the inflation numbers are still higher and the prime rate went up, all of a sudden, all the bond yields go up, which is exactly how fixed rates are priced. And they've gone up now. So it's a bit of a conundrum where it's like, if you want to lock into a fixed rate right now, it's probably 5.2 to 5.8%. And the one thing too is that some of the longer term rates are less. They're maybe in the high fours, low fives. But the challenge we face here, if we end up locking in, I just want to make sure that everybody understands that if we go with a 5-year term and the rates drop in 2 years, and that is that if you're stuck up here at 5% and the rates drop down to 3 to 4%, to get out of that mortgage is going to be very expensive, because the IRD, interest rate differential penalty, will play a role in that. And that happens when rates are higher and they drop down. Everybody wants to get out, is there's a big penalty. Now, some lenders will charge, how they calculate their penalties is much different from others. So that's important. If you need advice on that, let us know. With that being said, is that if you are going to lock in, a shorter term is preferred, so that we're not stuck in long term, because we know the rates will eventually come down. So a 2 or a 3-year term, the 3 year is really popular right now. And that's just something to take note of. So we've all been affected by this. So what do we do from here is we can lock in, we just keep, waiting and keep moving forward with what we're doing right now. And that sort of thing. Rates will come back down. What is the forecast? We've talked about that, and that sort of thing. So if you need to talk, or if you just want to vent, or even just have a chat about your situation and stuff, there are things that we can do. I know that I've had some elderly people contact me, some of my clients that they're having trouble with their VRM payments. Well, there are options out there where anyone 55 plus is that you can do like a reverse type mortgage for a couple of years, get out of all of this, and then get back into like an actual mortgage, because that would take away payments and stuff. So that's just one thing that kind of came to mind. But the more I know about your situation and that sort of thing is the more I can kind of give you advice. So if you need me, if you want to reach out to myself or Giles, please do. That's what we're here for. And we will get through all this stuff. If you're having challenges and stuff, it will eventually subside. But I just want you to know that we're here if you need help. And please let us know if anything. And like I said, don't hesitate to reach out. Take care and enjoy the nice weather that finally arrived.